it's not. These aren't terms that I think are situated very well in like an analytic Western 2025 modern mindset. It's just kind of a weird way to speak, and I think we should literally are not.
No, Andrew. Oh man, I wish I could have this conversation. I need to. Hey, Andrew. Of course, quite.
Go fuck yourself.
You too, Tay. Good to have you.
When you say you're not,
brother.
Does God exist? Short answer, yes.
Tay, hold on real quick. Ray, when you're done fornicating and doing whatever you're going to do, come back.
Hello, Andrew. Nice to see you again.
Okay, yeah, I for like 10, 15 minutes, but then I need to sleep for work. But Andrew, when you say you are not me.
Yeah, I'm not you. There's a division between you and I. That's why you don't share my thoughts. There's identification.
Okay, so you want to abstract that level. Abstract at a different level. Are you made up of nitrogen, carbon, oxygen?
Yeah,
okay, you are. Okay, so let's take the summation of those particles. Are there some next to you?
No, that's fine. I mean,
it's not. So then you and I are the same thing.
No, I don't agree with that, brother, because the problem is you don't believe in any immaterial existence. You don't think there's anything immaterial. And I don't think consciousness and qualia or phenomenology, all this whatever. I don't think that first person experience, I don't think you can that just is the equivalent of physical matter. And I don't think it just emerges when it's put in a certain
because Andrew, that is what you have to believe.
No, it's not. No, brother. It is so extremely counterintuitive. I think you would have to be really stretching yourself to try to make sense of the fact that you have consciousness from physical matter arranged in certain patterns.
So digestion happens and that's physical.
Digestion is just a process.
And anything cardiological happens and that's
processes interact.
Anything in my central nervous system happens. Yeah. Well, I guess the brain includes the central nervous. But anything in my respiratory system happens and that is it. But once we talk about the central nervous system and we talk about the functions of the brain, that's non-physical.
Intentionality and thoughts and planning and memory, all of that, and in your experience of it, and you're able to.
Dude, Andrew, you realize that's no different than saying the roots, they're physical. The bark, it's physical.
The
water
physical.
In the tree.
Yeah, we agree that's physical. That's why you can say that to me.
The leaves, the thing on the top, the thing that I really like to look at, that's not physical. Like, bro.
What are you talking about? The thing on the top? No, that's not like that.
But look at the quality of the green.
No, to say
look at the shape of the leaf. Dude, you're just calling out random things in the brain.
You think that the consciousness is an emergent property of physical property, and you think it's physical? It's all just physical. Everything is physical.
Yes, Andrew, but you know what I actually believe? I believe that it's so related, and I actually think, Andrew, that Christianity is going to go away for this reason. It's so, I'm not kidding. It's so fundamentally related, specifically consciousness and Homo sapiens, and probably consciousness in other animals, like smart animals. It's so related to quantum physics, and we have not updated any language, the English language, to talk about quantum physics. We don't understand how to talk about quantum physics.
You have to cut me off when I'm speaking, brother. Can you give me a second? You don't have to cut me off when I'm speaking, brother. Show love. Show love. I didn't say shalom. I said show love.
You should say shalom.
No, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, you should. It's just peace. No, you should say it, is what I'm saying.
Why?
Because it's peace.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, I know you may not want
to. But like I said before, everything I said is coming, Andrew. When I kept telling you, when is this going to end? Is it going to come to one common ground? You don't feel it in the air? This is all over. Christianity, confusion, Muslim. God didn't design this. God, why would a God, like tell you now, why would a God create a world when there's division, confusion, friction? That sounds like man to me. Why would God want you to fear him instead of love him? Andrew, make that make sense.
God want you to fear him instead of love him?
Yes. Does God sound like light, or does he sound like darkness? Darkness to me sounds like the devil, Andrew. That's negativity.
A lot of things. You're
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Let's see what you have to say.
What they call a gish gallop. That's one way to put it. Yes, it is. But here's the thing, John. He's actually shifted from I'm the observer. I don't have a position.
If your ego is speaking,
Yes,
your emotion,
don't be dishonest. You said
your emotion is speaking. I can feel it in your heart. Why do you keep cutting me off?
Victor, are you a pantheist? Yes or
You're
no?
getting angry.
You're getting mad. Are you a
No,
pantheist?
I just told you what I am. I'm consciousness.
Just in the other room. Hold on. You said in the other room.
What do you keep telling me? Hold on, and I just told you what I was.
So that is great. 22 trillion
How can
funded
you
debt.
determine what is not
Jack.
here? Because I'm speaking out of anger.
All right, that's fine. So when you're ready to be honest, we can engage.
I'm being honest.
No, you're not. You claimed that you were a pantheist or a panentheist. Now you're denying.
I get an angry Andrew because you think I'm lying.
Based on your
Are you getting angry? You're speaking through your ego.
You're more likely disingenuous than
Now I'm being disingenuous because I'm being honest.
You said, can't somebody change their view? You just claimed you're a pantheist. Now you're saying.
He says Yahweh was created. He says Yahweh and the Israelites were created by the Canaanites.
Ivy League educated individual, I'm going to say something like you have instinctual behavior because of your genetics, and you're going to respond to me. No established biology and evolutionary science. I do not want to hear that human behavior is not because of DNA and genetics. Don't tell me it's because of the beacon of Christ you are writing poetry.
I didn't say anything about writing poetry, but are you telling me that the whole field of moral philosophy is useless and it isn't striving to determine, hey, what the heck is going on here? Because obviously
the
there's
moral philosophy for the whales, for the crows, for the orangutans, for the baboons. I don't, Andrew. Finally, because you're laughing, you're starting. I love you because you're laughing.
I love you, brother. What do you mean the moral philosophy of the whales? You mean moral philosophy that the whales engage in, or moral philosophy we do about the whales?
Because they engage in.
Who knows if they have any kind of perception of morality?
They don't.
A whale, okay? So I don't think you know what's going on. But we can try to infer things based on things we can observe and try to test things and do this, that, and the other. But I think God made us such that God made us such that we know to do that if we want to preserve. If our bodies are made and our minds are geared towards do that, then I think it would be a kind of a crapshoot as to what happens if he just creates these beings that don't have those drives and don't have this like control mechanism or these rails to prevent you from just destroying yourself or being self-destructive, just as much as you might be propagating. If those were like equal drives, that would be a huge problem as far as, achieving an end of having a relationship with beings he wants to freely choose to love him. So yeah, I do think God embedded that into us. So I don't agree with the way you're like characterizing. You're a hyper-physicalist, Ray. I mean, you are like hardcore. Everything is physical. There's like nothing. There is no immaterial existence at all.
But dude, it's like, I'm sorry, it's not even a debate, man. Like, because I can literally just repeatedly show you my world. God made this child.
He will always die. How can you make that question?
Dude, you can give a kid.
How can you make that claim without? Hold on. Sorry. How can you make that claim without?
Because
how
we
do you know?
have clinical studies showing the death rate of like a congenital heart. There's specific congenital heart.
You would just say historically it's been the case, and even then you wouldn't know that.
70 of them die. Would you believe that your kid is going to be one of the 10?
It'd be hard. It'd be hard.
Correct. So if human society goes off of these probabilities, and let's say we continue to, and as we are, as China is, because they're the bravest nation in the world, as we continue to understand gene editing technology, what happens to our narratives of God wanted this to happen to this baby when we can control the outcomes? Doesn't it heavily suggest that what's happening is because of genetics?
Because you're trying to say just because we can alter the outcomes of things that God didn't anticipate that and plan for it. I mean, that's just crazy.
So now,
Well, you just
But Andrew, you see what they're doing with language.
No, I see what you're doing. I see what you. No. I didn't do just some ad hoc rescue there. That's what Christians have believed historically. God knows all things, my friend. God knows all things. If
humans are deciding if the baby dies or not, but then you're saying no.
Look. Hold on. Yeah, Ray, let me just demonstrate that to you. When two humans decide to procreate, right? Okay, and hopefully they do it the right way, right? Some biblical standard. If they do it though, whether they do it within God's system or not, if they choose to do that, a baby is born, right? If they get pregnant and have the baby, right? Okay, well, do you think God didn't know that was going to happen from our perspective? Of course we believe God knows that's going to happen. Jesus was prophesied. Obviously, there's all kinds of stuff that is God working with human decisions. He knew that Mary would agree to bear the child, the Christ child. So obviously,
Sometimes it bothers me. I'm in a good mood tonight, so it's not bothering. if we say something like, "Oh, I have a baseball and I'm going to drop it onto the ground." We're speaking in English. We're going to say something like, "Oh, the baseball is going to fall to the ground at the speed of gravity on planet Earth, and it's going to go through the air resistance that normal oxygen on Earth or whatever else the air at nitrogen is made out of, and the ball is going to hit the ground." If someone then wants to